has been a week. If you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly what I'm talking about. First time in like a week. Today's Saturday. Yes, a week, literally a week. First night I actually got a full night's rest. Posted a vlog earlier in the week of how Truth wasn't feeling good. But after that, she kind of took a turn, and I figured, you know, when my kids get fevers and stuff, I figure, okay, their fever is gonna last like 1 to 2 days max. But let me backtrack for a little bit, because do you guys remember when I posted that video of us taking fall photos, me and the twins? During that photo shoot, Truth actually got stung by a paper wasp on her arm. So obviously she was so uncomfortable, like she got stung by a paper wasp. We get home, she's super uncomfortable and she starts running a little low-grade fever, and then she also complains that her belly hurts. So I googled the symptoms of like side effects of getting stung by one of those paper wasps, and turns out it's a low-grade fever and a stomach ache. So I just figured, okay, well, that's probably what's going on. She's not having no crazy allergic reaction. She starts developing like a cough and like a runny nose, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't the sting, maybe she just has like a cold. I try not to be that mom that every time my kid runs a fever, I run them to the urgent care. I did that with Bash as a first-time mom. I think we all have to go through that and realize that kids just run fevers. So I had been sleeping with her. I sleep with my kids every time they're sick and just rotating Motrin and Tylenol. But Tuesday, I finally woke up, brushed my teeth, put on my shoes, and I headed straight to the urgent care because I was like, okay, like something's obviously going wrong. Maybe she has the flu, maybe it's COVID. Let's just figure out what it is. I took her, and immediately when they were doing her vitals, her pulse ox was beeping 94%. They tried all the fingers on this hand, and then they switched to her left hand, still 94, and then when they did her toe, her pulse ox went to like 95. While we were waiting for the flu and COVID test and strep test to come back, the doctor listened to her and was like, we need to do a chest x-ray. And so they did the chest x-ray. Her left lung looked like a cloud, and then her right lung, you could tell, was starting to get to what the left lung looked like. And so it turned out that she actually had pneumonia. My jaw hit the floor because she had no symptoms of pneumonia. She had the slightest cough, slightest runny nose. She wasn't doing that retracting breathing. Her flu results came back, and she actually did have the flu, and the flu then it turned into bacterial pneumonia. I was so shocked because I kept thinking like, oh my God, like what if I didn't bring her in? Like, this could have been like really, really bad. Usually when people have pneumonia, bacterial pneumonia, you end up in the hospital. Now I'm like, every time my kids get a fever, I'm gonna have to take them to the doctor. I feel like I have a lot of mom guilt. She is on multiple antibiotics. She's doing so much better. She was basically on bed rest for like 48 hours, and then we had to go back for repeat scans. Oakland was having the hardest time not playing with her sister. She would just stand there in front of her like, her little smile, do you want to play? And I did not sleep because all night long I was checking on her. My husband was coming upstairs to come check on her. We would text each other messages in the middle of the night, like, I just checked on her, she's good. So she went back 48 hours later, and the pneumonia is not all the way out of her system, which we expected. It's only been 48 hours. So we'll go back next week for another follow-up. She's doing so much better. She's eating, she's drinking, she's playing. I've got my silly little Truthy back. Hey Beauty sent me all of these lip liners and lip glosses, so we're gonna use one today. Of course, after her diagnosis, I went home and went down a rabbit hole of symptoms of pneumonia in toddlers. Having a bellyache is actually one of the symptoms. Like, who would have thought? I feel like I've been so MIA, but my kids are my #1 priority. For all the sweet messages I got on Instagram and well wishes, thank you guys. Love you guys so much, and hope you guys have a great day.